Hi, I'm Jérémy.
And I'm Ben.
Together with 15 Degrees North.
Today we're going to show you the sights and sounds of Beijing. Beijing is the capital of China, sitting in the northeast of the country.
Home to 22 million people, it's a sprawling metropolis of a city, yet it could not feel more different from Shanghai.
Dominated by the cultural sites at its centre, this is not a high-rise city, but instead a historical juggernaut that has been the capital city since the 15th century, when the Ming dynasty decided to rule their empires from here.
During this period, most of Beijing's key sites were built, including the Temple of Heaven, Tiananmen Square, and its most iconic, the Forbidden City.
The largest royal palace in the entire world, it was a centre of power in China for over 500 years, home to 24 emperors and their families throughout the Ming and Qing dynasties.
Since the fall of the empire in 1924, the complex has been maintained as the Palace Museum and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
In fact, you can basically assume that everything we talk about in this video is UNESCO because that's just the way Beijing rolls.
The palace reportedly houses 9,999 rooms.
Is this going to be like when we climbed Tiananmen Mountain, where they said that there were 999 steps and we only counted 850?
Well, I haven't counted rooms myself, but experts say there's actually 8,886 rooms.
Then they need to build an extension. They don't have enough space. The Forbidden City is a city within a city. It takes up a massive chunk of the centre of Beijing. It's completely vast, and it takes an absolute age to walk around the outside of it. So, why is it called the Forbidden City?
Well, what a good question.
I know.
The only people who were allowed access to the palace were the emperor, his family, and the eunuchs that served them. Subsequently, the punishment for unauthorized access to the complex was immediate execution.
Was our access unauthorized?
We bought a ticket, so no execution for us.
Oh, good.
And it's called a city because it really is big enough to be a city within a city. Adjoining the complex is the world-famous Tiananmen Square.
If the Forbidden City was the centre of imperial power, Tiananmen Square is the centre of communist rule, surrounded by government buildings and key landmarks.
We were visiting just before the 70th anniversary of Victory Day, so we were only able to visit a portion of the square.
But we did get to see the portrait of Chairman Mao, albeit from a distance, which marks the spot where he declared the founding of the People's Republic of China in 1949.
Is it UNESCO?
Yes.
For us, the most striking landmark in Beijing is the Temple of Heaven.
Built by the Mings.
Is it UNESCO?
Yes. So, built by the Mings, this Confucian complex was the site where the people would pray to heaven for the harvest each year.
Its circular structure sets it apart from everything else in Beijing, which is a city that really loves things to be square.
As a result, this contrast is a refreshingly unique building that looks truly remarkable. Don't you think?
I do, and I also think that it looks like the building is wearing a lovely hat with a buckle.
Sadly, Beijing is the last stop on our Chinese tour, which is really quite sad, but we've loved it, haven't we?
Yeah, it was great. Yeah.
What have you thought?
Spacious, lots of parks, quieter than most Chinese cities.
Yeah, absolutely. The rest of China has been mental, but here, actually, weirdly less busy.
Or did we just get used to a lot of people?
Maybe. I mean, we've been here for a month now.
There is probably nothing that demonstrates the scale and grandeur of 21st century Beijing more than the Bird's Nest Stadium, the home of the 2008 Olympic Games.
The stadium is an iconic building in its own right, but who can forget the magnificent spectacle of the opening ceremony when thousands upon thousands of perfectly in sync performers demonstrated China's cultural legacy.
It perfectly demonstrated the modern China that we experienced. Ordered, beautiful, and completely cohesive. Hutongs are narrow historical streets, unlike the wide boulevards of modern city planning.
In Beijing, many of these have been preserved, especially around the drum and bell towers.
Are those UNESCO?
Yes they are.
The Summer Palace,
UNESCO?
of course, is a complex of gardens, lakes, and pavilions built by the Qing dynasties around Longevity Hill.
It contains over 3,000 buildings across this vast site.
But unlike the Forbidden City, this was never intended to house the royal family. In fact, they would usually only visit for day trips, when they would wander its gardens and have a leisurely time around the lake.
It was basically a theme park for Chinese emperors, with all of its buildings intended to reflect the best parts of the empire all in one place.
I mean, if you can't be bothered to visit your entire empire, then why not bring the empire to you?
Today, you can wander the complex and see its restored marvels, which opened to the public just 2 years after the abdication of the last emperor in 1912.
We have shown you Beijing's cultural giants, but there is one more that lurks just outside the city limits.
Our trip around China took us to ancient towns, luscious countryside, and futuristic megacities, but the one place that was at the top of our bucket list was to take a day trip out from the city and end up at the Great Wall of China.
We went to the Jinshanling section, and we'll tell you why.
The Badaling section of the Great Wall is easily accessible from the centre of Beijing via high-speed train, and it only takes 30 minutes.
Subsequently, it is crowded, and you get the kind of crazy mouse over tourism that we saw in other parts of China.
We didn't want that at all.
The two other sections that you can easily access from Beijing are Mutianyu and Jinshanling, and because the views from the latter are meant to be the best, we chose the latter, which you can access via organized excursion and takes 2 hours by bus.
It might have taken us longer to get there, but just look at these views.
And even more importantly, we were completely alone.
Like, completely alone.
The Great Wall marks the northern border of historical China, and it is also a mountainous region which forms a natural border, but of course, following Genghis Khan and the crazy Mongols, they had to fortify it further, and so they built this using the natural fortifications of the mountains and then building a massive wall across the top of it. It also means then that when you come to visit it, it's a very mountainous walk. Each time you come to a location like this, one of the world's most famous sites, you'd have to take a moment just to look at it and realise exactly where you are. It's quite remarkable. I mean, I can't believe that I'm actually here.
The wall accentuates the terrain's natural defenses, meaning that it spans from peak to peak across a mountain range.
That means that when walking this wall, you are literally climbing multiple mountains.
According to our fitness tracker, we climbed the equivalent of more flights of stairs on this 10k straight than we did in any other mountain this year.
And we climbed the Grand Canyon back in April.
Jeremy, what's your favourite direction? Up or down? Up. We love going up.
Yeah.
I will never forgive Genghis Khan for doing this to me.
Though the wall was begun in the 7th century BCE, the most famous section like this one date from the Ming dynasty and in around the 15th century.
It might be a myth that it's the only man-made structure that you can see from space, but there's no doubt that this is probably the most impressive structure ever built by mankind, spanning 21,196 kilometres and aiming to keep the Mongols on their side of the mountains.
And this is our final stop, made it up to the top. And my God, we're exhausted.
But extremely happy.